Hello everyone, and welcome to Godox Film Lighting 101. Today, let's talk about how we go from this to this, and from this to this. Filming outside on a bright sunny day can be pretty challenging. That afternoon sun is high in the sky, casting hard light and harsh shadows. A lot of times, your subject is either underexposed or overexposed, depending on the direction you're shooting. Let's take a look at two different lighting setups and how we're able to use the sunlight as our tool. First off, choose your angle. Using the sun to backlight your subject is always a good starting point. Placing the sunlight behind your subject helps give them dimension and also pulls your subject away from the background. Next, you'll want to find a nice background that has plenty of contrast to your subject. We are shooting in the middle of winter, so most of the environment was a tan color. Not so good for separating the subject from the background. To help add contrast between the two, I chose to set up the subject in front of some green plants. The sun is backlighting these plants as well, which gives them plenty of texture. Now that we've established our angle, let's set up our scene. When shooting in sunlight, you want to try to wrap the sunlight around the same side of your subject. This allows the light to look motivated and realistic. I set up a collapsible diffuser and clamped it to two C-stands. I then brought in a Godox VL300. The VL300 at 100% power is actually brighter than the sun. It can be powered by two V-mount batteries, which is exactly what we needed since we didn't have access to a power source. Shining the bright VL300 through the collapsible diffuser illuminates the subject with soft, natural-looking light. Because of her blonde hair, the backlit sun was blowing out the highlights of the image. To help with this, we brought in a 4x4 silk flag to help soften the sunlight on her backside. This allows her to remain backlit, but with softer, smoother roll-off. From here, I added a flag to her opposite side to help reduce the amount of light bouncing off of the ground. This helps shape the light on the right side of her face. This is called negative fill. Now let's look at another setup, this time using the sun as our front key light. Once again, pick a background with good contrast in relation to your subject. Here, I chose the blue from the water and the sky. Shooting with hard direct sun as your key light will completely blow out your subject and will not give you a very flattering result. Plus, the bright light can be pretty tough on the talent. To help with this, we placed a 4x4 silk flag to diffuse the hard light. This greatly reduces the brightness of the sun and softens the overall light falling onto her face. From here, I added a VL300 as the back light. Once again, I was able to power the light with V-mount batteries. This light helps create a rim around the subject and separates her from the background. I placed the light on the same side as the key light as if we were wrapping the sun around this side of the subject. The last step is once again adding a flag to the opposite side of the subject to create a negative fill, which adds a touch of shape to the subject's face. Hopefully some of these tips will help with the next time you shoot out in direct sunlight. Bouncing and diffusing light is a great way to use the sun to create a better overall image. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Godox Film Lighting 101. We'll see you next time. Until then, happy filmmaking.